welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. Wow, we don't often do a show straight on the back of a performance or a match like that. And Paddy doesn't want to be with us. Thanks for joining us, Paddy. So I've got a feeling tensions are going to be a little bit high tonight. However, hopefully, we will bring a bit of sanity to everything. Good evening, Anne-Marie, and good evening, Stanley.
Good evening.
Good evening. And welcome to everybody who's in the chat. Wow, let's pick through the bones of that one, eh? Before we get the sensible, we'll let the sensible one go last tonight. So I'll let you go first, Anne-Marie, and then Stan.
It was a shocking lineup right from the start.
Nope.
No?
I feel argumentative, but I don't think so. Why?
Well, I think it was because there was no legs in that midfield today.
Is that why he was arsing around?
Well, I just think there was just no decent movement at all. And every time Gundogan got the ball, he had to turn back inside and generally ended up losing the ball. There was no need for it. And would
you have started with Núñez?
Probably, yes.
Is that a hindsight one though? Because he had a good game.
No, that's as in I would prefer him playing the right back against Rico Lewis.
Well, what about Uzbekistan?
Well, depending on whether he's injured or not. I know he was on the bench today, but he wasn't even on the bench on Wednesday night, was he?
No. To be fair, I've read Twitter before that when the starting lineup was announced. A lot of negativity, and I thought I could understand him not playing wingers today again. I thought, go narrow and just try and create something out of that. People were slaughtering Núñez, who I thought had a very, very good game today. Marmoush had a good game. The rest was bang average. And you know something? We didn't deserve to win or lose today.
No.
Would you go with that?
Probably. Disappointing though, because that's not the City we know and love. It's literally like we went there for the draw today, not to get battered, and we were never going to get battered by them. And just we were desperate for pace. We were desperate for players out wide. So it just puzzled me. It puzzled me. And Foden should never have started the game.
Why?
Because he's so out of form. It's unreal. I'd have probably played Jack after the game he had the other night. Because Jack played well the other night.
But I'm not saying Phil does Jack warrant a starting lineup on the back of that performance? On which, by the way, that was the best goal I've never seen from Jack on Wednesday, was it? At the match against Bournemouth. Who was it? No, it wasn't Bournemouth. It was Leicester. Do you know something? It is what it is, and I wasn't overly annoyed with that starting lineup. Paddy?
I suppose the starting lineup was it was to control the match. I agree with what Stan said to me earlier on a private message, that play that team for 50, 60 minutes and then bring on the speed and then do them the last 20 minutes, half an hour. I think it's been well said that Gundogan and Kovacic don't work. It was a very non-pacey midfield, but we knew exactly what to expect off United. It was going to be sit back and counter attack, so it wasn't going to be anything.
Well, that said, though, we didn't go overrun in midfield.
No, we didn't. No.
So what? So how would Nico Gonzalez have made a difference?
I'm not saying he would. I'm all about the pacey wingers.
Savino.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Look, to be honest with you, like, I know it's very easy. Like, people they kind of jump on the team's back or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, we haven't been playing ourselves. We have taken 4 points out of a possible 6 this week. What more do you want?
Okay, let me go back to Anne-Marie's point then. All right, and let's dig through the bones. Say, Jack, you know, on the back of what you've just said, you thought Savio should have started today, Paddy, yeah?
Maybe not started, but introduced, 50, 60 minutes.
Well, it's the same principle, because although Jack had a great game against Leicester, Anne-Marie felt he should have started. So on that premise, Savio shouldn't have started. And by the way, what did Doku do when he? And by the way, I'm not going to go at Doku because I thought, you know, we needed it. I actually called for him to come on for Gundo. I think whenever it happened, but even Jack didn't do great when he came on. Neither did Doku. I think whoever's just said it, it was almost like we played for a draw, and I've never known us to do that before, Stan.
No, it's. I think I'm not sure he played for the draw. I think what he did was started that team. It was in the diamond. It was an old team, and it was solid. And we were up against a team that can counter attack quite well. So I just think he wanted to make sure nothing was going to be conceded. And as you've said, Andy, I think we did that quite well. We never really looked uncomfortable. We've seen us when we've looked uncomfortable in the last 3 months. And while they had some chances, you're always going to concede a few chances. But at no point did I think they were going to score. To be honest, I didn't think we were going to score either. All right.
No.
Now, as I said to Paddy at before the match, I thought what he'd done is, like, if you start up and contain, see how it goes after an hour, and then bring on the speedsters, bring on a couple of wingers and see what happens. Now, we're back to the old problem now of you try to double guess and analyse what Pep's doing, and you can't really do it. You can't get into his head. Now, there was a fella who come on during the week. He didn't even make the bench, Mr. Bob. Now, you would have thought it'd have been all right for him to get 15 minutes, but we're quite well stacked for wingers. We've got 4 fit wingers, and we don't really have a full complement of fit players anywhere else. So, I don't know, Kushinov didn't play. I can understand why Kushinov didn't play, because he can be a yellow card magnet, and if he'd have got a yellow card inside the first minute, would he have been
like
exactly? If he'd have had another one in the first minute, would he have then started getting the old, the criticisms he got for the Chelsea game? He would have been on about 3 or 4 yellow cards by then. So there's no real need to put him in the firing line. Nico, he's probably got another job for him. He just wanted to give Kovacic that chance to keep it tight. 100% Nico will get around a lot better than Kovacic, but again, unless we know exactly what he's got in his head, it's difficult. And I think, we ended up with a bit of a hybrid at the end where we had the meat of the slowsters and only one speedster. And it just didn't really work, It was.
So everyone, honestly, near enough everybody on social media, was calling for Nico Gonzalez to start.
Mm.
Maybe Pep was thinking, do you know something? It's a Manchester derby. I'm going to go with tried and tested, experienced players there. And if it's going well after X amount of time, we'll introduce Nico Gonzalez. Listen, whether they're in good form. Listen, and Gundo, I thought was exceptional against Leicester. People might say, it was only against Leicester. but he was exceptional against Leicester. So you've got, for me, you go for your tried and trusted. And Kovacic experienced, especially in derby matches, not just derby matches, he's played in, El Clasicos and stuff like that, Kovacic. So Gundo's not behind the door either. He's played a fair few games to be experienced, knows what it's about. Again, I don't think we played bad, but I don't think we played good. And let's not forget we had 5 shots on target. I know that's only low, but it's still more than United. That said, I don't think we deserved to win, nor did they.
No, we were solid. We did the job. We went there. We didn't get beat. Again, this is coming down to the thing, innit, that we're all fans. We want to go in there, all guns blazing, get a 3-0 win, and plenty of blood and guts, and everyone's in there, and balls flying everywhere, and a lot's going all over.
No, but Stan, it's not even that. I want us to go and win a game because we want, whether we like it or not, we want Champions League football.
We do.
Now we're in a position where we're a point behind Chelsea still.
Yeah.
Newcastle are just behind us. They're 2 points behind us.
Yeah.
They play Leicester tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to drop down to at least 6 then, aren't we?
Yeah. And how many points behind Chelsea will we be?
Still 1.
Right. And that's the point. It's the points where we are, not in the league. It's the points. And you will get a team at the moment that will target games. He's probably gone there thinking they're a very quick, young, counter-attacking team. They could do us. What I'm going to do is, like Andy said, I'll put my old guard in there. We go there and don't get beat, we're then going into a next game in a better frame of mind. And he'll probably bring all these kids.
Informed teams in the league at the minute, Crystal Palace.
That's all right. It's not a problem. But those young lads will be back in there. You don't think we'll win that?
The only good thing is they had 2 players sent off yesterday.
Well, they are.
I suppose the other side of that, Emery, is we could have went there and went all guns blazing and been done in the counter-attack that they did at the Etihad and come away with no points.
Did you think that was in Pep's mind a little bit?
He definitely wanted control of the game. Absolutely wanted control of the game. He didn't want a chaotic game. And
I always say possession doesn't win matches, goals do. But again, we was high up on the possession as well today. And again, I'm not trying to paper over the cracks because I agree with Jack there. Why are we playing for a draw against shite? Yeah,
but this guy, Jack, has had massive results against big teams. Like, they mightn't be doing it against lower table teams, but against the big teams, they have been turning it on. So, it's risk and reward, isn't it? Like, if we're all, the 4 of us sitting here tonight and all the guys in the chat, and we got done with a counter-attack or 2 counter-attacks, we'd be all down in the dumps. So why didn't we do this? And why didn't we more control? And why did we do... You can't please fans, Like, I go back to my earlier point. We've taken 4 points off 6. That for a team that's not firing in all cylinders by any stretch of the imagination. So, you have to, yes, but you're saying Emery, Crystal Palace are in form. Form goes out the window when you're playing each other.
Form's certainly out the window when you're playing a derby like that. I mean, obviously, if Crystal Palace played United, they're not facing the same sort of pressures. But then again, when we play Fulham, we won't face the same sort of pressure Palace would want to beat Fulham. And we've all got those little games. Everton v Liverpool. There's far more pressure for both of them teams for the same problem that we have when we play United. How did Liverpool get on against Everton? Was it a draw?
No, they beat Everton 1-0.
At Everton.
Draw.
Yeah. These games and these wins and these losses, once you've got all the context and everything else in there, yeah, we want to win. We want to beat United. Nobody's going to deny that. And we want to win 3-4-0. Of course we do. But I just don't think we're in the form or the frame of mind at the moment. I mean, I'm just looking here now. We've lost one in the last 5 games. So we're building something. We're getting back to where, it's not going to come this season. It's not going to come this season. Those last 4 seasons have gone. And the reality is yes, you're right, we need to, get into that Champions League. But there's points on the table.
And plus the fact our main striker was missing.
I don't know what people want. If anything, the Rags will be thinking, why didn't we demolish? That was probably one of the worst City, not performances, one of the
worst City teams. Yeah.
They must have looked at that starting lineup and thought, they're there for the taking. You know something? We wasn't there for the taking. Would people have been happy if we'd have nicked it 1-0? Would we all be rejoicing now, even with that starting 11?
Yeah.
Would.
But I don't think United had a shot and goal until the 40 minutes.
Who?
United, I don't think they had a shot and goal until the first 40 minutes in the first half. But I think it was 39 minutes.
It's like it or not, folks. We are where we are on merit this season. It's not like, we've been unlucky. We deserve to be where we are this season. So us not getting anything at Old Trafford today, well, we did actually. We got a draw. But us not winning at Old Trafford, us not playing brilliant at Old Trafford, does that really surprise everybody?
No.
Anne-Marie?
No, it doesn't
Why
surprise.
is everyone getting their knickers? That's what I saw.
So let's talk about Nico Gonzalez then. Why, Stan? Why do you think that he wasn't started today?
I just think he wanted to go there with the experience. For the same reason as Kuchinov, same reason as Savinho, same. Nico didn't play. I don't think any of the January signings played today, did they?
Apart from Marmoush.
Marmoush, that was it. But he's all right. He's in a position where it don't really matter. You miss a chance, everyone's all right. And then he might go.
Marmoush, to be fair, today, mate. I thought he did okay. Each game he plays, I like to look at him.
He buzzed around, but he didn't have a couple of his mates up front, did he? The wingers. So I just think that whole thing with that diamond, that whole team was set up just to not get beat. And I think, like you say, he just went in there with his stalwarts, or what did Pep call them? The legendary players. He's just gone in there to do a job. Yeah. He's dug out a massive run chase on the last day of a game of cricket. And he wasn't even looking.
It goes back to the old rule: if you can't win, don't get beat.
Correct. Yeah. It's a huge shift in our normal mentality. I agree with you there, Amber. 100%. It's a whole universe shift from what we used to.
I'll go back to what I said before. Everyone was calling before the first whistle was started today that we've got no legs in midfield. That they'll power through us with their midfield. Our old guard didn't get overrun in midfield.
Yeah, but I seen that about Nunes as well. I thought Nunes had a great game.
He had a really good game, Nunes.
And Nico already had a great game on the other side of the pitch.
I wouldn't say a great game. I'd say he had a steady game.
But he didn't do much wrong.
I thought Gvardiol had a decent game. So let's pick through it, right? Player by player. Because it's clear we didn't play well collectively. Ederson did okay,
Yeah, pulled off a great save.
Yep. Right back again. I actually thought
did okay.
If you can give somebody a man of the match after today, I'd say between him and Marmoush was man of the match today. Do you go along with that?
Mm.
Stanley?
Yeah, I mean, picking a man of the match out that lot, it is going to be difficult. But I'd take the point you're making on board. Yeah.
A special mention today, regardless, Diaz, because he got booked inside the first minute.
Yeah.
And he kept his head all the way through that match in a derby. So fair play to Diaz there. Again, I thought Gvardiol played okay. Nico O'Reilly, I thought he had a steady game.
You got to remember. Sorry to jump in, but you got to remember with Nico and all, he had a little step up there. You know, he's played against Leicester, he played against Plymouth, and he's been in the the FA Cup. So now he's had a little step up. We didn't concede, and he's doing, he's just doing steady steps. I won't say he's doing slow, steady steps, but when he can take advantage of somebody, he will do it. So when he's up against somebody who's a lot better than what he's normally up against, I thought he stepped up there. Bearing in mind, he's an attacking winger. Sorry, attacking midfielder, not winger.
The thing with Foden today, I know he's not had a great season. It's well documented. He's not had a good season. However, he got absolutely smashed off a fat-faced Casemiro early doors. Now we don't know whether that was hindering me. When he went off, he was quite clearly injured. All right,
and at the end of the game, he was injured too.
So whether we think he should have started or not, yes, no, blah, blah, blah. The fact is, he did. He started. I thought he was okay-ish until he got smashed.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the time.
Here's a question for you, Andy. And I'm actually sick to the back teeth of people having a go at Phil Foden. Do you think Kevin De Bruyne or Silva or any of the rest of them had a better game than Phil Foden?
Nope.
So why is Foden getting it and the rest are not getting it? I think, if you want to start digging players out, which I don't really do, but in terms of what Bernardo Silva has offered this season has been absolutely zero. But it's still in all, Foden gets it.
I thought Bernardo was exceptional for the last 10 minutes today.
The last 10 minutes, yeah, I'm on about the whole season.
I know that's me being facetious, mate.
Right.
I thought he was okay for the last 10 minutes today. Listen, it's a Manchester derby. Anne-Marie, let me ask you, answer me honestly. Did you expect us to win today?
Honestly, no.
Paddy?
No, I was happy with the draw. I'd been happy with a score draw.
Stan?
Didn't expect anything less than 8-0. But then again, I expect that every game, and I'm disappointed just about every game nowadays.
And that's what I'm saying. So
you weren't going to, like I said, you're not going to go there and win 4-5-0 anymore, are you? Not in this current malaise we have.
Not till next season, anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. At the moment, we're not going to go there.
Let us know in the chat if you actually expected us to go to Old Trafford today and win. Because I certainly didn't.
No, DC did.
We all want to go there and win. We know that, but
we've got.
Well, I remember, Ambery, I was just looking about what you said with Newcastle. They are the 2 points behind, and they've got 2 games in hand.
2 games in hand, yeah.
We've got Leicester away, then they've got United at home, then Palace at home, and then Villa away. So they've got 2 difficult games there. United and Leicester, where you'd expect them to get 3 points.
But I'd rather have the points on the board than a game in hand.
Well, that's fine. We're just talking about, City, you've got Palace, that's difficult, but so have Newcastle. That sort of cancels each other out. And this is why you end up at the top of the league. If you can win the games that other people can't win, you're going to win the league.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said, we've lost 1 in 5. That's not groundbreaking or anything, but you've got to have building blocks somewhere. Our captain's just sum the game up, really. We was too safe, too predictable. Some looked tired and static, too easy to mark, little creativity.
Yeah, it's a fair show.
You actually think, I'm not joking, compared to the group and compared to the chat, you think we were fighting relegation?
Mm.
You think we were trying to get 40 points to survive the way this is? And that's not me being a happy clapper. That's me being realistic about where we're at a team in terms of rebuilding to go again. Like, surely people can see that.
I sort of agree with you, but I don't think anybody would have expected the drop off in performance, points, and everything that we have done. And I think that's what, and I think that's why. And let's not forget, we're still in for a shout for silverware this season with the FA Cup.
Yeah, but Andy, you say that, right? We're all disappointed this season because it hasn't been to the standards that we were at. But this is the team that's won 6 Premier Leagues out of 7, and they're having an off season, and everybody's jumping down their throat. Let's put this in the perspective. This team has a lot of credit in the bank. They're allowed an off season. Players are allowed an off season. Like, especially when you've won 6 out of 7. Not forget about your 4 in a row. 6 leagues out of 7. When's the last time a team did that? And now we're jumping down players' throats. Pep this, Pep doesn't know this, Pep doesn't know that. He shouldn't be playing, he should be playing. Why not just accept the team are having an off season? There's a rebuilding program going on. One of our greatest players is leaving. The club actually got rid of him. That wasn't through his own choice. The club told him to go. Kevin De Bruyne.
You don't know that.
Huh?
You don't know that.
Yeah,
oh,
we
Pep,
do.
Pep did it.
Pep said it.
Pep said it.
When?
Today?
Today.
I've not heard it. So that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, Pep says it. The club wouldn't told him he has to go. And to be honest with you, Andy, he mightn't be the only one.
Okay, then let's chat about KDB a little bit. We'll flick in and out of the match as well as talk about KDB. Absolute unbelievable player. Honestly, it's when I read it on Friday, and I'm sure a lot of people did. I was actually reading it with tears in my eyes. However, it is time for him to go.
Yeah.
It's the right time. It is the right time for him to go. We could be sentimental and say, let's keep him for another season and try and blood whoever through. But if it's going to be Foden or Wirtz or whoever, they've got to be the right. And I'm backtracking a little bit here because up until last Friday when I heard the news, I was like, yeah, we'll keep KDB for another season. He can nurture another player coming through, but he might be able to nurture a player coming through. But whoever comes in are not going to be Kevin De Bruyne. We're just going to have to play differently. And unbelievable player. I'd still have Sergio ahead of him, though, because of the man love I've got for Sergio. But you can't argue with what KDB's done. He joined us as a boy. He's leaving us as going towards the end of his career. Let's be honest. But his performances, did he warrant to start today, Amory?
Sentiment says yes.
We can't do sentiment. If we have sentiment, it clouds everything, doesn't it? Now, I wasn't expecting KDB to start today. I'll be honest, I was expecting Nico to start there. I was expecting Phil to start, but I wasn't expecting KDB to start. But,
well, I thought because KDB didn't start on Wednesday night, and after the announcement on Friday, I was convinced he was going to start today because he'd be the captain of the team.
Well, what a player he's been for us. I know it's been a few days where we've, a couple of days, but we've we've all digested. We've seen all the videos and stuff like that, and his greatness. And it just shows you what he's given us. He actually put his career in jeopardy the way he played through injuries.
The treble-winning season.
Yeah, and you know something? Not many players would do that. And it was quite heartbreaking reading it. However, facts are facts. You take that away. If we started with Kevin De Bruyne next season every game, do you think it'd be the Kevin De Bruyne of old?
No.
But
he's not even Kevin De Bruyne of old now. Never mind next season.
We know that Kevin's not the player that he was. We know that, but the supporter in me still wants to back him.
No, we all
the same way as I would have done with David Silva, with
Mahrez. No, Walker.
No, because Walker and Mahrez
I'm joking. I'm joking.
They're not in the same. They're not. But Andy, you don't say it if you don't want the reaction. They're not in the same league as Kevin.
I will say Walker's won the same as Kevin. Mahrez wasn't far behind.
Yeah, but what Kevin could do, Kevin could change a game. Walker couldn't.
Mahrez could.
But Walker could save a game. Kevin couldn't. If you want to look at it like that.
So listen. Joking aside, just let's concentrate on KDB here because Stan, is it the time for him to go as much as it hurts?
Kevin De Bruyne, yeah, because you can't run the club on sentiment. If he's now, I'm saying this, obviously I don't know, the stats behind just how fit he is, just what his knees like, what his ankles are like. But when they go in there and they have a little look on his heart monitor and everything he's done through the game and what have you, if he's starting to fall away from the standards that we need and what we know we need to win the trophies that we know, if he's not there, then he's going to have to go. But for once, we've got a golden opportunity to say goodbye to a legend and have a proper send-off.
Yeah.
Let's, in a way, let's look at the positive of it. We know now everywhere, all his away games now are going to be his last match wherever he goes. Then eventually, he might just play the last home game at City. And we're giving the proper send-off. Because he's been magnificent. He's an absolute legend. I saw, it was that Chelsea buffoon. He was on there today and he was going like Lampard and who else was it? Gerrard and a couple of others. And then he was putting KDB in the likes of Kante and people like that. So this fella's not even got the brains to put in David Silva and Rodri. And KDB's in there. He's in their pantheon. He's right at the very, very, very top. Unbelievable player. And will we miss him? Of course we will. But what will we do, Andy? We've said this many, many times on here. He won't go out and get a new KDB. He'll go out and get a new, it may be before he inverts, and then reinvent the team and do something else. We didn't have that muscular skill of Yaya Toure. When Yaya went, he went. When Kun went, we didn't get a small, quick silver forward. We got a massive Viking mallet in there and changed it again.
And let's not forget when Company went, we actually, was it the season after Stones and Diaz where they formed the best defensive partnership we've had in under Pep.
Mm.
So you're right. We will sort of like reinvent and rejig things. It's just it's always sad when one of your legends leaves. Let me play devil's advocate. Let me play a little bit naughty here. I'll go with you here, Paddy, first. If we play KDB for the rest of the season, do we make Champions League?
Honestly, I'm not going to talk from my heart and we talk from my head. and I'm going to take the emotion out of it because I'm not going down that emotional guilt trip. But if we play Kevin De Bruyne for the rest of the season,
nice one, Adam.
I don't think that we'd make Champions League.
Let us know in the chat if we play KD, if we start KDB for the remaining 7 games, do we make Champions League? And that is definitely one sentiment over.
Here's a stat today, and Stan, you might check this stat. Actually, the last 2 seasons for Kevin De Bruyne, he's only played 1 full season out of the 2 in terms of games. He's been injured the rest of them.
He has been, his impact has been getting. His consistent impact over the course of his season has been coming down. His impact on individual games is still there because he's that quality player. What Blue Art has just said a minute ago, Andy, if you just flick back, that's what I got the feeling. It was like, it does look like we are saving ourselves, but I can't think what. And what is it that, it can't be the FA Cup. But then again, it might be. I don't know. If he's walking away with some silverware, I think we will qualify.
For Champions League, mate.
The FA Cup's not weeks.
No, but can you honestly
say? I don't know what, I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying what Blue Art has said there, that it did feel as though we were saving ourselves, but we don't know what.
Pep had sacrificed the FA Cup for Champions League, mate. Definitely.
I don't know. It might be nice to get in the Europa League for once. Let's have a little look at the rubbish. If we can win that, we're back in the Champions League anyway.
No, because that's Thursday night. No, forget that.
No. I'm joking. I don't want to be in it at all. But I'm just saying that as it stands at the moment, you could possibly argue that United have got a better chance of getting the Champions League than we have. Because all they need to do is win that Papa John Boy Scout Papa John Pizza thing, and they're back in the Champions League. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Paddy, how do you know it? How do you know Blue Art's wearing knickers? Obviously, Stevie does. Listen, I think we'd all have different starting 11s, wouldn't we? Between now and the end of the season. It's just, and again, I'll say we are where we are this season on merit. Not people won't like to hear that, but as long as we sneak through to the Champions League, that's all what matters for me this season. And if we win the FA Cup, that's a bonus. I'm not bothered about that World Cup chocolate trophy thing. I'm not fussed about that.
Like, don't forget, Andy, Stones is out, Akanji's out, Aki's out, Rodri's out. That's 4 players that would be at least starting or on the bench.
Haaland.
Haaland more recently.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Hey, Paddy, I've got that info for you.
Go on.
Kevin De Bruyne in league games, going back since he came with us, 25, 36, 37, 19, 35, 25, 30, 32, 18, 20. So he's only played 90%. 1, 2, 3 seasons.
Them last 2 stats stand 20 and 18. It's 38, which is a full season. So for the last 2 years, he's played 1 season.
This season and last season.
Yeah, he's only played the equivalent of 1 season in the last 2 seasons. That's not good enough. Not for a top team. Like you can't afford to carry someone.
Across the 10 years he's been here, he's played in 70% of the matches.
And that's all right. He's obviously on he's crested the wave, now he's on the way down, and the time is right to go. And if you wanted to use that as a benchmark, I think Johnny Stones could be in trouble too.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other thing,
Staffy Dave, bang on the money, mate. I just feel there's a lot of hate for Phil Foden at the minute, and if people think Phil Foden is just going to drift away,
No, it's not. And I can see why.
Having a go at Phil. We're just saying that he's not playing well, and at this moment in time, did he warrant the start today?
But who did Emery
That was the only question I've asked.
who did then?
Who did on that basis? Who has had an outstanding season that deserves to start?
None of them have had an outstanding season, Paddy. That's not the point. The point is, if you're out of form, sometimes you need taken out of the firing line, don't you?
Right.
No,
So,
I'll tell you what. I would have played him.
On that basis, Gundogan shouldn't be playing. Bernardo Silva shouldn't be playing. Cofferty shouldn't be playing.
For me, Gundogan shouldn't have been playing today.
So like, why is Foden getting singled out?
I'll tell you what, I would have started him today. And I would have started him for the reason that most of the players that we mentioned won't have. He's an absolute lifelong dyed-in-the-wool blue. And if he's going to pick up his game, it will be against United.
And he scored 6 in 6 against United.
Phil Foden has been playing for Man City 7 years.
No, but the thing, I think he scored 6 in the last few games. But the thing is, he's a bit like Marcus Rashford on that he might not always done well in other games, but when he wants to play us, he will always step his game up. And that's the human side of the footballer. Believe you me, Phil Foden would have wanted to score and he would have wanted to do stuff today, even though he's completely out of form. That, if he'd have walked away with an hat-trick today, that would have kickstarted the rest of the season for him. And we'd have all been buzzing. Phil's back. That would have been it. That would have been all it would have been. Phil's back. But you need something to get that spark. And I can understand, really, why he's played him. Again, people are right. He is out of form. We'll be the first to admit he is out of form. There's no two ways around it. But how do you kick somebody out of that?
You don't get in form playing training matches or playing EDS matches. You get in form on the actual pitch, playing man's football. And Pep has seen enough to put him on that pitch.
He knows what it means to him, doesn't it? He knows what it means to Phil to play against United.
Look, I know I'm repeating myself, but the team have just had a collective downturn this season, and they're entitled to it.
Say that again.
Andrew, I'm going to box you.
And by the way, on a side note, keep you awake, Stan.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm knackered.
On a side note, how quiet and boring is that Colin Bell stand, Paddy and Stan?
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm really smiling there. She knows what's coming.
That's wind. The Queen's got wind.
He's so predictable, Stan. You just ignore him.
Is it the Gaviscon or the Gavisol or the Gavardiol? I don't know.
Staffy Day said today's show why KDB should go. Legend. And that's it. I don't like. Who lives in an house like this? Are you Lloyd Grossman?
Who?
You.
Oh, he was getting darker and darker. I couldn't even see myself there. Go on, you know that.
No bad thing.
Well, there is, but it was helping me fall asleep.
Do you know something? What Staffy Dave's saying there? It's KDB, absolute unbeliever. And do you know something? It shows you the respect what he's got, because even Liverpool fans are saying, I've seen Liverpool fans saying, the best player in the Premier League ever, and they're putting him above the likes of their own boy Gerrard and stuff like that. The respect what he's got, but I don't want to see him just fizzle out. The way we are seeing him.
I hear he's going to New York City.
What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing you can do with a comedy? Just keep going on and on and on till it's not funny anymore. Let's put him now. You what? Sorry.
Bit like this show.
Yeah, but it was. The thing is, this has never been remembered fondly. That's the thing.
Emily, what was the Leicester match like on TV on Wednesday night?
It wasn't. I didn't see it. It wasn't on telly. Nice try though, Paddy. Yeah, tourist.
Paddy, you're not remotely funny. And Murray's a tourist. And Murray's a tourist.
I'm no tourist.
Not like us hardcore.
Yeah. I was behind your seats, they were empty.
Well, the club told me they told them, so.
And then I got an upgrade then in the second half.
Yeah, he got an upgrade. And I tell you what, I'm glad me and Stan gave him an upgrade because it was freezing and Paddy sheltered all the cold from me.
It was like a big Paddy sandwich.
So if anybody can send Anne-Marie directions to the Etihad, I'm sure she'll appreciate it for the next match. That's terrible, that.
Yeah, the next match being 12 on Saturday against Crystal Palace. I will be there.
Oh, finally turning up, are you?
So would I with the club 173 quid.
Terrible. Andrew Hughes says KDB the greatest, but the time is right for his time at our club to come to an end. He's been a passenger in many games this season, unfortunately. Absolutely, mate. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see him just fizzle out. Even today, he wasn't great. He was trying passes what normally would go through, and he was just, passing to the opposition. And I don't want people to remember him, for stuff like that.
Like all good, he has to be put out the pasture now, put out the stud. Like all good race horses, he's run his race.
Speaking of studs, I'm all right.
I can think of other names, sure.
So
that's the house captain. That's a great question. Did today's KDB display today convince fans that the board made the right decision? I would say yes. Yes. However, I think some of his form, etc., has been because he basically put his body on the line in the treble winning. You all right there, whoever?
Not me, that.
What are you talking about?
It's Anne-Marie trumping that, I bet you.
no, it isn't.
Anne-Marie, Jesus Christ, again?
The Queen doesn't trump. Yeah, I think he's not recovered from that treble winning season.
That man has given 10 years of his life to that club. So it's very hard to maybe it was Stan, he's covered his fucking nose, look. He can't even stick his own smell.
Fucking hell, I've given 56 years of my life to that fucking club and look at the state of me.
I started supporting him when I had hair.
He's been paid handsomely for them 10 years. Don't be getting me off on that one. Oh, dear.
Do you think, though, and it has been said, Pep was too loyal after winning, and quite rightly so, after winning four in a row, that he was too loyal in the summer to the players what got us there.
No, and I'm going to go back to what you said. At the start of the season, you quite rightly said, it was one of the first times I'll ever agree with you, that team had just done 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could say in hindsight, oh, we should have did this, we should have did that. But that team had just done 4 in a row. Nobody could have foreseen what was about to happen. Even if Robin hadn't got injured, that collective downward spiral of form, nobody's seen that coming. Nobody.
Yeah. I think the elastic band on the engine snapped and the whole thing seized up. But let's be honest, he's been hammering that engine for 4 years and got the very, very, very last bit of juice out of it.
Mhm.
We're now going to have to do the rebuild. Now he could have done the rebuild after 3 years, and we wouldn't have got the fourth. Then
Yeah.
people would have been moaning, "Oh, why didn't we just hang on for one more season?" You know, we can all hang on for the season if it all implodes. But a lot of people can't. They want that instant gratification of success there and then. Today's a disaster. It was a shit boring game. That's all it was. Let's get it right. And if we don't get in the Champions League, it won't because of what we've done today. It was like, getting beat on some of the matches that we've fell apart in. Again, even in Europe, falling apart against PSV and against Sporting and against Paris. We could have had somebody dead easy to get through, but we didn't. We ended up with Real Madrid, and as Andy said before, we're in the position we're in because that's the form we've been in, and they're the levels we've been at. Normally, to be finished, to be what is it? Where are we now? 4th, 5th, with an FA Cup game to go, pre-Pep, and still within the Mansour team, we'd have been pretty happy with that.
Cheers, Simo.
We were quite happy with that when Mancini was there.
Much appreciated, Simo. Sorry, pal, go on. Go on.
Yeah, so,
tonight.
yes, it's one of the saddest things to see quality players and good lads in their careers. But once the writing is on the wall, sentiment isn't the right graphite for that wall. Yeah, he's right. It's absolutely right on. So let's get that statue up, sit there in the pub and, reminisce about, he's not dead.
There's going to be a statue outside the new stand, and it's literally taken from the Villa game when we won the league 3-2. When he's knelt down tying up his shoelace, the statue's already done.
I'm not sure it has, to be honest. I think that was a bit of a rumour on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, we saw pictures of it, Stan.
Yeah, but I can show you a picture of the moon. It don't mean I built it. But having said that,
I put 50p in, Stan.
Having said that, I don't think that's a bad picture because he's kneeling down and it's like the workman rolling his arms up and he's like, we're 2-0 down. Bloody hell, lads, we've got ourselves a bit of work here. Come on, let's roll our sleeves up. Let's tie our laces. Get up and let's go. And he did it.
You put 50p in the dickhead tonight.
Who, Stan?
Yeah.
Me?
I thought she meant me because you're
Stan.
Who are you talking about, Ambery?
Well, because it's just constant. No one else is getting a word in.
Anne-Marie, how dare you slaughter match-going fans?
Exactly, Anne-Marie. Get back in your box.
So the question is, Anne-Marie...
I didn't speak for the first 20 minutes.
Anne-Marie, once that statue is up, will you go to visit it or will you just watch it on TV?
I've still got my season ticket. I'll be seeing it up close and personal.
Sorry? That nearly spat his drink out then.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one of them. You know the plasticine? I'm going to put a plasticine statue. I'm going to put a plasticine statue of Mahrez on top of De Bruyne's head, just to annoy you. There.
Anne-Marie, I know you love me.
I love him. Absolutely love him.
I love you too.
Facts are facts, aren't they?
It's getting boring now. You need to come up with something new.
No.
Oh, okay. Is that a challenge?
Yeah. Walker.
Yeah. Simo Sup says,
Derby,
cheers, all.
keep
Rather
it
disappointing
quiet as well.
Saturday. Could have been worse, though. These games are always a funny one. It is, and do you know something? We've beat United when they've been at their top and we've been shit. They beat us when we've been at our top and they've been shit. Derby games are derby games. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. And by the way, Gordon, you thought I was going to sing a song then, didn't you, Paddy? The stuff what Gordon makes, he does laser engraving. He's doing some absolutely brilliant stuff at the minute with Slate, with like KDB, all City, not just City stuff, but it's predominantly City stuff. What he does, it's absolutely top class. If you any of you kids on TikTok, in fact, it's called is it Blue Laser Guy? Is it Gordon? I'll do a link on here now. Go on, carry on, Emery.
Stop looking for freebies, Andy.
No, Gordon. Funny you should say that.
We know you have one already. Stop looking for another one.
Here's what he made earlier. No, seriously, he's a top lad as well, and he makes some top quality stuff. So follow him on the tick of the talk. So, what's life after KDB going to be like, Anne-Marie?
I think, if we're honest about it, that isn't me, is it?
You said it.
Yeah, but that noise didn't come from me. It was one of you lot.
What we've done.
No, I mean,
mine's not up your ass, love.
Do you know what?
Paddy?
Just do my head in tonight.
Jesus, don't be putting me beside you. Keep me away from you.
I'm keeping my hands up. So come on, what's life after KDB going to be like?
It's going to be exciting because we don't know what we're going to get. It's going to be yeah, and I think we have to look forward to what's going to happen because there's going to be. It's not just going to be Kevin. There's going to be, I can see possibly Edison going in the summer. Walker might well go on the permanent deal. And probably Gundogan. Who knows? Maybe
Gundogan has activated these clauses that he's staying.
Oh, for God's sake. See, why keep him for another year but not Kevin?
Yeah, but Gundogan activated these clauses. He's played so many games, so it automatically activated the second year of his contract.
Oh, well, that's not great news.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd be playing as much as he did this year, Anne-Marie, when the summer comes and all them signings come in and stuff like that. And there'll be a different system played.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, Rodri's going to be back next season. You'll probably have to Nico beside him. Hopefully, there's two Nicos.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. But you just don't know. And I think we just have to look forward to what's going to come because we can't, it's like we always go on about United looking, and Liverpool living in the past. And we can't do that. We have to look forward to what's going to happen next.
I'll let you read that one from our good friend of the show, Elliot, Anne-Marie.
Decent away end, considering the game. Slow, sloppy, sideways, but we move. One of them seasons... Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Elliot. Sorry.
One of them seasons, and unfortunately Pepper's made many mistakes this season. Take Phil out and give Chevry and Bob a run.
Bob, who's injured?
Well, Bob isn't injured, is he? He came on Wednesday night. Were you paying attention?
Was he on the bench today? Were you paying attention?
He was injured.
He is injured.
Steve says, I've had an outstanding season. Thank you, my friend.
Steve is pissed.
Elliot says, I don't think he should be playing Andy, to be honest. He needs a rest. He looked really weak. Said it all when Bernardo celebrated a goal kick late on in the game. You know, I saw that, you know. You see it late on. And it does. And that, again, that's exactly where we are this season. So I'm not, you know, I'm not shocked by it. Did you see that, Stan?
I might have been snoozing at the time. It got a bit much at the end. Last 15 minutes.
I know, DC. And again, our squad has been like that for all season. And again,
how can you say they've been shocking when they're fighting for the top four? Shocking is down to 13 or 14 where the rags are.
Because of our standards.
Yeah, Andy, you're only as good as your last job.
Jesus Christ. Did you ever see Stan as a courier? Stan?
Yeah.
Is it true you're only as good as your last job?
I'm very good at my last job that I'm doing now. It's all right. The last one, about 4 jobs ago, when I was given an A to Z that was about 14 years old. Yeah. Would have done all right then as well.
Was that to match your personality? You're so far behind.
No, it's just that somebody decided that pavements that had been built didn't really need to be bothered with. Just drive over them and carry on. One-way streets and even streets that have been demolished, not there anymore. Don't worry. They're just suggestions on the A to Z. They are really there.
What Stan's alluding to, I got him a job years ago as a courier, and he didn't have an A to Z. So I went, there you go, mate. You can have my A to Z. He was about 14 years old, the A to Z. So all the streets he was going to, which, funnily enough, right, all the streets and everything was there near the Etihad. You know, when I had it, and everywhere had changed. He used to go out of the morning about 7 o'clock and get back about 10 o'clock at night and deliver about 12 parcels.
It wasn't. I got rid of them all, but it was hard going. I tell you what, though, what didn't help was it's all changed, hasn't it? The city's ground. So, you know, there was like doctors and all sorts, you know, where the main road into the academy is. That used to be a genuine road, and there'd be all sorts on there. There's a chemical works and everything. They've all gone now. When you've got an A to Z that's telling you that it's still there, and you're looking at it thinking, it's not, you know, mate. It's gone. It's definitely gone. And there's guys in front of the main road that won't let you through because it's site security. And it's like, no, all those roads have gone, mate. The chemist's gone. The doctors has gone. There might be some viewers or listeners out there that remember down there back in the day, and that was a thriving little community. But
Dan, something what you said the other day, and Alex just reminded me there. You said about the rebuilding. I can't remember whether you said it when we was just chatting or whether you said it on a show a few weeks ago. It's my first show in 3 weeks, so it might have been when we was just chatting about the rebuild. You said we've already started the rebuild. We're 6 months ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, we've got half the building blocks in there. We need another 3 or 4 players if 6 or 7 players are going out. So, you know, cutting off, we'll have had that January to May of knowing what it's like to play in the Premier. So we'll have Marmouche. So we'll have who's the other one? Nico. He's a little bit different. He's a tall, thin lad. He's got time to build out, but he comes on now and again.
Did you see Adam taking the piss there? Is he serious?
He's what? Sorry.
Go back to Adam's comment there 2 comments ago.
That one.
That one. That's surely a piss take, is it?
But the thing is even if he's
Right.
serious, that is Adam's opinion, mate, and it's as valid as anybody else's.
So replace Pep by the Burnley manager.
Bayern
Really? What did he do at Burnley?
doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Opinions are like arseholes, mate. Everybody's got one. How are you anyway, Anne-Marie?
Oh, good.
See the way I do the links then? The links are seamless, aren't they?
What do you want, a Scooby snack?
Yeah, he wants a prize.
That's the whole idea of being a host. But like, you're not as good as Anne-Marie, so. And if you even try and remove me, Anne-Marie will put me back.
It says, if it was up to me, I would give the old guard the summer off because they have given 107% over the years. Play the new signings. That, you know, you spoke about this quite a bit, and Anne-Marie, where, you know, we're not going to have much of a summer break, really, are we? Pre-season.
No, we're not at all. Because literally, once this tournament ends, there's a 3-week. It's literally 3 weeks to the start of the Premier League season. So there is no real pre-season for us. And also, we've, if you think about it, there'll be no money-making tour for the club or anything like that this summer, like they normally have.
Tell you what, though, we're getting a hell of a lot of money. Yeah, we do without that money making. We should be making 65 million on this show. Sorry, this tournament.
Next week's show, for the last 10 minutes, we'll have a Ask Us Anything, and we'll be honest.
So what are you eating, Anne-Marie? Custard creams?
Not eating anything at the minute.
But what were you
men.
eating?
She's eating men
I'll
alive.
spit them out. Oh, we've lost Andy.
Thank God. Right. Somebody sensible can take over. Off you go, Anne-Marie.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, God. Like a bad smell.
It's that time of the week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it just clicks at this time of the week. Doesn't it sound like your bed?
Tell you what, my dad's cooking all the time at the moment. I'm knackered, absolutely knackered. Yeah, that's the way it is, isn't it? That's City for you. We never do anything easy.
I know, and again, you know, to be serious, it could have been a lot worse today because, you know, we have lost games like that this season.
Yeah.
We have.
Look at the derby at our place.
Yeah.
Very good point. I wonder if that was on the back of his mind more than anything else. That he didn't want you lads in there. He wanted some people in there that were solid, that wouldn't let the lead.
I don't think Jesus Christ goes inside that bed.
So, who've we got next, Anne-Marie? What's the next match?
Crystal Palace on Saturday, 12:30.
Is it home or away?
Home.
So are you going?
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Paddy, line them up and we'll knock them down, mate.
Yeah, will you be there, Andy?
I will be there, yeah. Is that all right with you?
Of course it is.
Stan, are you having a week off?
I'm out, dude. She'll be able to win that without me help. Sick of coming down there and bailing him out every game.
Brilliant. Right, well, should we call it a day?
Yes, I think so.
Listen, don't be down. Listen, we've been through worse. We could have been worse today. Don't let it affect your lives because it's more important thing than football. Even though we love them blue bastards to death. Am I right?
I thought you were going to break out into always look on the bright side of life. And Andrew, if you're feeling down, don't wear a frown.
Copyright.
It's time to go, Andy.
No. Yeah, listen.
That 50p's lasted a long time in Stan.
Couldn't believe Anne-Marie said who put 50p in the dickhead to Stan.
I have my doubts that was to me.
How dare you slag off match-going fans, Anne-Marie?
Yeah. Fucking day tripper.
Day tripper. Listen, guys, thank you as always. Hey, full panel tonight for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I must say as well, Steve Lewis, what a great guy he was. I watched the stream back. You know, brilliant. If anybody in the chat wants to, obviously not come on tonight, but if they want to come on any week, let us know. Just drop me a message, and I'll send you a link for the show, and you can come and join us one Sunday night.
Please check it.
Can't hear you. Anyway, listen, guys, have a great week, whatever you're doing, and we'll do it again next week, yeah?
Yeah.
Have a great week, all.
Take
Bye-bye
care,
now.
everybody.
Bye.